me for my compliment towards you.
Anytime.
Okay, appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Take care.
That's Rob Shaw, Times columnist reporter. When we come back after the 2 o'clock news, I'm going to have a university student explain to me, and those of you who are unfamiliar with it as well, what Bitcoin is. News is next.
CFAX Victoria, a division of Bell Media. This is Victoria's News Authority, CFAX 1070.
Ford to stay put. Good afternoon, I'm James Gardner. Toronto Mayor Rob Ford says he has no reason to step down. In a very brief statement to the media this morning, Ford says because the matter's before the courts, he cannot defend himself against allegations that police have a video believed to show him smoking crack cocaine. Toronto Police Chief Bill Blair says forensic investigators informed him yesterday that they were able to recover a deleted video file seized as part of a broader police investigation.
I have been advised that we are now in possession of a recovered digital video file relevant to the investigations that have been conducted. That file contains video images which appear to be those images which were previously reported in the press.
The Toronto Star and the U.S. website Gawker reported in May that their reporters had been shown the video by men attempting to sell the file. Healthcare issues will be front and center as the Vancouver Island Health Authority begins public consultations about the future of healthcare in the region. Island Health 2018 is the region's new health strategic plan and will serve as a roadmap for what VIHA hopes to achieve over the next 5 years. VIHA says input from island residents will help refine the authority's direction and influence its new strategic plan. Community open houses will be held in Victoria, Sydney, Langford and Souk the last week of November. The University of Victoria is the top comprehensive university in Canada in the 2014 University Rankings by Maclean's magazine, a return to the position it held several times since the annual rankings began. University President Jamie Castle says the ranking reflects the talent, hard work, and commitment of faculty, staff, and students. UVic edged out Simon Fraser University to place first among Canada's 15 comprehensive universities. The CFAX 1070 News Poll today brought to you by Dumont Tirecraft. Yokohama Tire Fall Event on now at Tirecraft in Souk. Does a $15 million commitment for Malahat safety improvements positively impact your view of Christy Clark and the BC Liberals? Vote now at CFAX1070.com. CFAX 1070 News Time now is 2:03.
The Burger Roll Call at Average Joe's Pub.
Beef? I'm ready.
The Burger Roll Call at Smuggler's Cove Pub.
Beef? Yellow. Chicken?
Yep.
Vegetarian? Over here. Halibut?
Yes, sir.
Mushroom? Check.
For a burger that's anything but average, drop by Smuggler's Cove Pub in Cadborough Bay Village. Open 11:30 to 11:30, Monday to Saturday. Sunday brunch from 11 to 2. With a great lineup of Victoria craft beers every single day. Smuggler's Cove Pub, the friendliest little pub in Victoria. Daily specials online at smugglerscovepub.com.
CFAX 1070 weather brought to you by Boston Pizza. Here is CTV Vancouver Island's Astrid Brownschmidt.
Good news for trick-or-treaters. We're looking at mainly dry conditions tonight for all our little Halloween goblins and ghouls who are heading out after dinner. Mainly cloudy conditions are on the way for the overnight hours, and we may see a sprinkle of rain early tomorrow morning. Temperatures will reach 11 in the afternoon, and then we see the rain beginning in the evening. Saturday looks to be rainy and windy with a high of 11 degrees. Sunday, Monday, mix of sun and clouds with temperatures between 8 and 10. I'll have your full island forecast tonight on CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack.
Every day is special at Boston Pizza because we've got specials every day, like $7 off gourmet pizzas on Wednesdays. Boston Pizza, here to make you happy. Offers valid on dine-in only.
CFAX 1070 Money Matters. The TSX closed down 94 points at 13,361. Dow Jones down 73 to 15,546. NASDAQ down 11 points to 3,919. And the Canadian dollar was up 48/100ths of a penny to just under 96 cents US. I'm James Gardner. If it's happening, it's here. Victoria's News Authority, CFAX 1070. It's coming up to 2:05.
I'm Al Fairby with the latest from CFAX Santa's Anonymous. Local businesses are helping CFAX Santa's Anonymous raise money, like Victoria Hyundai with their Stick to the Grinch campaign and Hillside Shopping Center with their Night of Lights event. You can get details on both and details on how your business can help by calling 920-4644.
Helping Victoria children and families in need, no matter what the need. Donate to CFAX Santa's Anonymous now at CFAX1070.com. Now, Ian Jessup on CFAX 1070.
Welcome back. What the heck is Bitcoin? Will it replace our currency? A Vancouver coffee shop has become the world's first location of a Bitcoin ATM. Here in Victoria, the Cabin 12 restaurant has been accepting Bitcoins for payment since February. And earlier this month, downtown clothing store Hemp & Company also began accepting Bitcoins as payment. Michael Yeung is a third-year business undergrad at Simon Fraser University. As the founder and president of the Simon Fraser Bitcoin Club, the first such university club in Canada and the second in the world, he's called for a bit of a crazy person for his obsession with Bitcoins. And he's on the line now. Michael, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Michael, you've got a challenge this afternoon, an enormous challenge. I'm a Bitcoin dunce and really do not understand it at all. I'm sure there are many listeners in the same position as me, although I'll be the one wearing the dunce cap. Take us through the origins of Bitcoin and how it works.
Well, Bitcoin was started back in January of 2009 by an anonymous person named Satoshi Nakamoto. And this was introduced as an open source software that acts like a currency. And what this does, it gives the ability for people to send money directly to each other instantaneously over the internet.
Now, when you say send money, explain that. I mean, if I want to send $25 to you, how do I do that?
Well, effectively, it essentially works like emailing money. So what you would do is you would open a Bitcoin wallet, and you would buy some Bitcoins or receive some Bitcoin for some goods or services that you would provide, and you would send me the Bitcoin through the address that you would have of me. So it's very direct. It's almost like emailing money.
Okay, now, how do I use this currency?
Well, right now what you could do is to go to bitcoin.org and download one of the many clients that exist for this software. Or if you want, you can actually download a mobile copy onto your Android or iPhone. And what you would do is to go to either the Bitcoin ATM that we have here in Vancouver and buy some Bitcoin from it, or you can go online and buy Bitcoins through one of the many exchanges that exist for it. So it's almost like buying a stock.
Okay, now the Bitcoin ATM, how does that work?
Well, Bitcoin ATM allows the end user to directly buy Bitcoin using cash. What you would do is go up to the ATM, insert however much money you want in terms of dollars, and that will instantly convert that into the Bitcoin value according to the current exchange rate. And after that's done, it would ask you to provide them your Bitcoin wallet, and your wallet would exist on your cell phone, for example. So you just scan that in, and within under a minute, the Bitcoins are yours.
Oh, I see. Okay. Now, when I go into a store, like there are a couple of stores in Victoria, one is Cabin 12 and the other one is Hemp & Company, and I want to buy something from them, I'm still confused as to, I realize that if I have Bitcoins and they accept Bitcoins, I can give them some, but does that simply mean that this is an alternative currency that they use?
Yeah, it's no different than U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, Visa, or MasterCard. It's just another form of payment that they would take. Essentially, it's like giving the merchant cash, except this is cash of the internet.
Oh, I see. So they get to collect the Bitcoin.
Yeah, they get to collect the Bitcoin, or if they want to at a later point, they can sell the Bitcoin on the market for whatever value they can get from it, or they can use a payment processor, and the payment processor would take the risk of the merchant not getting the best rate by giving them the Bitcoin at the time that they're taking it in. So, for example, if I'm buying a coffee for $2, that means I would be accepting 0.02 of the Bitcoin, given that each Bitcoin is $200 right now, and the merchant would only see cash on their end in their bank account. They would never actually touch the Bitcoin.
When you say the Bitcoin is $200 now, who determines that?
It's just a really simple stat that's given by the supply and demand. So right now, the demand on the market now, according to the people who are trading and selling Bitcoin, is $200. So it could be a little higher, a little less in the coming days. But that is just basically free market. Just whatever the market decides, that will be the price. So there's no central authority setting the price. It's up to the end users, depending on how much they value the Bitcoin, to determine the price of the Bitcoin.
Yeah, I guess that's why there was a story out recently that a Norwegian man who bought 5,000 Bitcoins in 2009 for about $25,000 and completely forgot about it until his wife asked him about it, and he realized it's now worth $848,000.
Yeah, that's a really intriguing situation. He actually bought, I believe, $25 worth of Bitcoin back in 2009.
Yeah.
He totally forgot about him, and today he was able to cash it in at almost $1 million. He bought a nice apartment with it. So as you can see, the value of Bitcoin is growing at a very substantial rate in a very short amount of time. And I think that really really speaks for the utility of Bitcoin itself, that it's really popular now. It's becoming more popular day by day just because of the function that it provides, unlike any other currency that exists.
Yeah, it's interesting. How often do you use this?
I use it every now and then. Sometimes I might buy computer hardware or software online, and I would just send Bitcoin to the merchants. And usually, as a result of sending Bitcoin, because of the fact that Bitcoin is almost feeless and instantaneous, they don't go through a middleman, I get a discount on whatever I buy. And locally, sometimes I shop around, and I'm able to buy things from the dozens of stores that exist in Vancouver that accepts Bitcoin. So anything from coffee to lunch to dinner to clothing to computer hardware, anything that you can think of where a transaction can take place, you can do that with Bitcoin instead of the existing system. And usually you get a discount for doing so.
Yeah. Now, there are no banks involved. There's no Federal Reserve. Do you think once this starts to catch on in a much greater fashion than it is now, that these financial authorities will step in?
I think they already have stepped in. In the U.S., the climate for Bitcoin is actually not too good. It's kind of funny how we ended up having the first Bitcoin ATM here in Canada, and the reason for that is because the regulators here in Canada, they have taken a bit of a relaxed stance on Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. They're waiting to see what will happen to it before they place any final judgment on it. But it's a little different in the U.S., where you have an organization called FinCEN, which is the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, that are trying really hard to stop Bitcoin from growing any larger. So one of the things they did was to place an extremely expensive licensing fee on anybody who wants to operate a Bitcoin ATM in the States. But we don't have that in Canada, so that's how we got the first Bitcoin ATM.
Yeah. So I guess a person like me who wants to learn more about this, it's best just to go on bitcoin.org and kind of figure it out myself.
Yeah, there's a whole range of stuff you can read up on Bitcoin, but bitcoin.org has very good introductory tutorial on Bitcoin, and if you want to look more into it, well, I would recommend going to coindesk.com. It's an all Bitcoin news outlet, and sometimes they have a lot of guides and tutorial that look into Bitcoin.
What was that, Michael? What was that? Coin what?
CoinDesk.
CoinDesk, okay.
Yeah, coindesk.com. They're a pretty good source of Bitcoin news, and they have a lot of tutorials that walk through how to begin your own wallet, how to use Bitcoin, how to receive Bitcoin, and just how to think of Bitcoin as another currency instead of getting into all the really technical stuff that doesn't really matter for the average person.
Yeah, great. Michael, I really appreciate this. You young guys know. I think it's fantastic what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Michael Yeung, a business student at Simon Fraser University, trying to explain to me about Bitcoin. I think I've got it. Jill, do you understand it? I mean,
it's tough for me to get my brain around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
I don't understand. Yeah, it's tough for me to get my brain around. But kudos to that guy who was ahead of the curve and bought $25 worth of it, and now is
$848,000.
Wow.
That's what it's worth. And he completely forgot about it until his wife reminded him.
How do I make my money multiply like that?
Well, let's get into the Bitcoin business.
Yeah.